Hello, can you hear me?
That's not on. Switch it on again.
Light goes on and goes off again. Hello, can you hear me? Yeah. Right, we'll take it from there. Right, I'll call them up one at a time. I would ask them not to speak for too long, 2 or 3 minutes each. Right, can we start with Chris Grant, please?
Thank you. He really encouraged me when I started taking up bridge here 5-6 years ago. He was always patient with every question that Maria, Trish or I slung at him right up to his last days playing here at the club. And I will always remember him. Thank you, Malcolm.
Ed sent me an email which says, both Jane and I were so very sad to hear the news about Malcolm, and yet again we are away during the passing of yet another Bridge Club member. Malcolm was a lovely man, a true gentleman, with a great sense of humour, a very good bridge player, Pat, and a quite brilliant teacher. Prior to my term in office as the President, he was most encouraging and supportive, and I always very much appreciated his sound advice on bridge matters. He will be missed by us all, and I only hope he died a happy man in the knowledge that our team, Fulham, won 5-0 on the opening day of the new season. Our thoughts are with Pat and Malcolm's family at this difficult time. With love from us both, Ed and Jane.
Ed with feeling.
Well, Malcolm and Pat have been very, very good friends for me for many years. I only upset Malcolm on one occasion, which I can remember well, was when I persuaded him to accompany me to a bridge tournament in Alicante.
Oh, yes.
And to cut a short story long, at half time we were leading the field. There were considerable cash prizes, and Malcolm was getting quite excited about the prospect of winning one. Then it was lunchtime, and I decided I was only going to drink water. However, unfortunately, I noticed the label on the bottle of wine was one of my favourites. And I consumed rather too much wine during lunch, and consequently Malcolm's play deteriorated quite considerably in the second half, and we didn't win a prize. And that was the end of our tournament partnership. But apart from that, we got on very, very well indeed, and I'll miss him greatly.
Can you hear me? Good. Right. From the moment that Jean and I arrived in Spain, Malcolm played a major role in our lives, through playing bridge, of course. No sooner had we learned how to play basic ACOL, we moved the following year into Malcolm's class, whereupon his first words to the group were, "Life will never be the same again. These lessons will completely revolutionise your bridge. You are going to learn benching." And from that point our lives did change. Not only was he our teacher, he became one of our best friends. A while later, when he and Pat were first walking out, so to speak, we were on a Christmas bridge holiday in Benidorm, waiting to book in at the hotel reception, when he made it official by announcing to all and sundry, "You might as well know Pat and I are sharing a room." And that was the formal beginning of their relationship. It wasn't long after that when the two of them brought about another life change for Jean and me by persuading us to get out our tennis rackets. Something we hadn't done for several years. And so we had a regular Sunday morning game on the courts at the golf club for several years. I have to admit that although Malcolm was a fair bit older than me, he was on the winning side more often than not. I did have hopes that as the years passed that Jean and I might gradually start to win more often, but unfortunately my knees gave out before that happened and we stopped playing while he was still winning. We enjoyed many holidays with them, visiting parts of Spain from the Asturias in the north down to the Costa del Sol. It didn't matter if the service in the restaurants was on the slow side. In fact, we quite appreciated slow service, for out would come a pack of cards and we would play a few hands between courses. For me, it's the end of an era. Malcolm represented all that was good in life and at the bridge table. Life at the bridge club will never be quite the same.
Thank you, Chris. Is there any...
Sad that they are still in England. We first met Malcolm in autumn 1997 when we first came out to Spain. He was running the bridge classes at the club, which at that time was based at Balcon al Mar. It seemed amazing that he, together with his team of Maggie Ward and Pat and the late Joe French, would devote 2 afternoons a week to provide such excellent lessons. He would provide handouts, mostly handwritten, and homework, of course. It was a marvellous introduction to the ACOL system and tournament bridge, and we will always be indebted to him. We soon got to know him much better, and we became close friends. We remember so many happy evenings after bridge at different restaurants with him and the bridge crowd. We recall on one occasion having mentioned being disappointed by our personal score in a tournament, not an infrequent occurrence, when he looked at our scorecard and he could remember what the best contract was for most of the hands that we played that day. Latterly, it was sad to see him affected by his illness, and particularly when he could no longer play and come out to dinner. It was a privilege to have known him, and we will miss him greatly. And that is from Anne and Alan.
Has anybody else got anything to say?
I'd like to say something. I played with Malcolm, and I was a partner with Sheila, and he mistakenly thought I had potential.
What a mistake as a waiter!
But he told me not to gamble so much. Can you listen? But the effect that he had on my life was he begged me to stop smoking. I used to smoke 40 a day, and I was outside. And okay, I wish I could, but I can't. Suddenly, Pat comes up with, "Have you tried the electronic cigarettes?" I said, "No." She said, "Well, you know," she said, "I'm going to try it." She said, "But, you know." I said, "Okay, I'll try them." So, last September, I went and bought some. And I've been on it ever since, and that's a year.
And me.
And you. I wanted to please him, but I didn't think I could. When he begged me to stop smoking, he said, "Please, John, don't smoke." I can't help it. When I got introduced to this, I thank Pat as well, and thank you, Malcolm. Thank you, Pat. And you should be very, very proud of your father. Terrific man, terrific man.
And something that Malcolm said to me on a number of occasions, and how true it was. He said the most important thing when you're playing bridge is to have a good partner. He said, "I got the best one." And he was right, both in the club.
Oh, yes, he did.
I have a card here from Pat Do you want to read it or do you want me to?
No, would you do it, please?
Right, this is Pat to the Javier,
If you can read my writing.
yeah, Bridge and Social Club. I would like to thank you for allowing the function in the clubhouse on Monday evening. This was Malcolm's favourite place. Many thanks also to those who helped to prepare and serve the food. A special thanks to Jean for her organisation, Gwyneth, our David Bailey, also Malcolm's best mate, Mike, and all the club here for the support over the last few difficult weeks. Best wishes to you all. I know we've had one toast already to Malcolm, but I'd like to propose another one. Malcolm, wherever you are, thank you for all the time and energy you gave us all. Cheers. Eat, drink and be merry because we're going home soon.
And I would like to add that we hope we'll see Pat back playing at the club. Yes, hopefully. Sometime this year.
If you ever need a partner, Pat.